guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Teen Wolf Season 3, Episode 1, called Tattoo. I know this review is maybe an hour late, but I actually had a Teen Wolf party with a couple of my friends, so that was awesome. I actually see the episode with Teen Wolf fans, and actually speculate and see what everyone else thought as the episode was going on. So I have like different theories going on because a lot of my friends had different theories, so that would be definitely added in my review. But let's talk about this episode. This is the season premiere. We've been waiting a year for this, so definitely been a while, and this is going to be a 24 episode season, so that's really exciting. I'm actually getting a full season of this series. But this episode is really about the alphas. We get to learn a little bit about the alphas. We get to see the twins. Not really seeing them talk or anything, but we get to see them. And one really creepy thing is that they are two twins, but when they become a werewolf, they become one. Creepy, kind of cool, don't know what to really think about it, but kind of creepy and cool at the same time. So we get to see that with the twins. We get to see the main alpha, I guess. He is a blind guy. I thought that was really cool, and I'm like, oh, he's like Matt Murdock, except a villain and a werewolf. So I guess his werewolfness gives him the way to see and stuff. So that's kind of cool. Another big thing in this was the therapist. She's actually a different actress, didn't know that. But she's a different actress from season 2. So that's kind of cool. And we get to see her, you know, kick some ass in this episode. And we think die in this episode. Unless she's just kind of a big, you know, werewolf claw thing, scar going on. But I think she's pretty much dead. So she does die, and she has something to do with all of this. We don't know exactly what she knows, but she's taking Isaac, saying, oh, you know, stay awake. And pretty much it's kind of funny, but Isaac's like hallucinating throughout this whole episode and getting beaten up throughout this whole episode. He doesn't really say much, but he's hallucinating or kind of like drifting off because everyone's either knocking him out in this episode with either medicine or just knocking him out with a fight. So I thought that was kind of cool that Isaac pretty much was knocked out through the whole episode. But yeah, he was with the therapist a little in this episode. We don't know exactly what's going on with the therapist. Who is she? You know, that's been a question about the veterinarian and the therapist and all that since season 1, especially with the veterinarian. But it seems like some bounty hunterness is going on. So I'm excited to see more, and probably we're going to learn more through the veterinarian who the therapist was and how she's connected with all these alphas. But the alphas were kind of cool. Another main story that's going on is that these animals are kind of dying around them, especially around Lydia, it seems like. It seems like every scene that these things are happening is either with Lydia or, no, especially Lydia, because a dog bit her on the ankle, so something, maybe that has to do with Lydia or some other thing going on. But, yeah, animals are going crazy. Even birds go into the classroom, so that's kind of cool. You also get to see, you know, Scott just gets a tattoo. He wants to see how he can keep it because the werewolfness in him keeps healing it. So he wants to keep a tattoo, which is really the main part of this episode, I guess, since the episode is called Tattoo. So he tries to get a tattoo. We see that, you know, Scott is important, but we don't know exactly why he's important. Styles is just being Styles, being funny in this episode. Derek seems a little more caring in this episode. He knows a little about the alphas, but he doesn't know much about it. I think that's something we're going to see throughout the whole season, is like, why are these alphas so important? How is there a pack of alphas? And we learn more about the eye color, I hear in like episode 8 or something. So we'll learn more about the werewolfness and how it is to be a werewolf and all the difference of omega, alpha, and all that, beta, and all that. So that should be fun. But we get to see a lot of comedy. Oh, also, Allison, she didn't really do much in this, but the Scott and Allison relationship is definitely not there because they've been avoiding each other all summer. Jackson was mentioned. He went to London. Yeah, so he could definitely come back if he wanted to, but I don't think he will anytime soon. And then Lydia, you know, we don't know exactly what she is, but obviously we hear that she's going to be more important as the season goes on. So I'm excited to see what she is, and hopefully this season we find out, 'cause she's my favorite character and I want to find out. I feel like that's a mystery, is like what's important about her. I think it has something to do with the animals, honestly. And some of our theories while we were watching the show was maybe, I don't remember the name for it, but maybe she can heal things. And like these animals heal them after. And I think that's interesting because she does heal a lot of things, and her bite healed from a werewolf. Or maybe she's some totally different. But I think healing things would be interesting to see. Or maybe, I don't want to see her as a witch, but maybe that would happen also because she is kind of smart with the whole Aladdin thing. But also, I want to see Lydia and Styles' relationship, but not romance relationship, but their friendship develop. I would love to see that. I think that would be really fun to see in season 3. I enjoyed Derek in this episode. I thought he was fun because he wasn't like an asshole, but he was very he was interesting. I like that he was more of like not like a brotherly figure to Scott, and like, oh, you know, I don't think you should look at that. Even though he kind of needed Scott, he's like, I don't think you should look at that. Alright, there's alphas, but I didn't want you to be in the middle of this. It was also fun to see Lydia and the mom kind of know and be in the whole werewolf thing and them actually talk about it. That was really fun in this episode. But let's talk about the bad in this episode. First, the graphics weren't really good, and they did a lot of action scenes, and when they, you know, the birds crashed into the window, wasn't that great, and then that whole first scene where the twins are chasing Isaac and the therapist, I did not like the graphics at all for that, so that was kind of even worse than usual, so that was kind of bad, and I was like, oh, come on, you guys could do better than that, so that was kind of weird. Also, cinematography changed a little, but I thought it fit really well for this. It was a little darker, and I think this show is getting darker. I love that Scott is now trying to be a good student. That made me smile a lot, and I hope he keeps that, you know, resolution for the whole entire season. Hopefully, we'll see about that. I thought this was a really slow episode, honestly. It felt like not a lot happened, which was really, I mean, there's a lot of fun parts in this episode that makes us love Teen Wolf, you know, a lot of comedy, and it was really on point for that, and a lot of interactions with the characters, I guess. Especially with Allison and Scott. I think there were a lot of cool interactions with people, but the story really didn't progress for a season premiere, which I was really upset, because we knew about the alphas. Yeah, we got to see what they looked like, okay, but we knew that the alphas are coming. I think if we didn't know the alphas are coming, and this would be a more interesting episode, but we already knew about the alphas, so I felt that was less interesting, and I think something should have really happened in those last 3 minutes, you know. We found out that the mark that the therapist gave on Lydia and Allison, it meant something where Boyd and Erica was, where we just saw her, because Erica's not going to be in the show anymore. We saw her hands. So, yeah, does that have to do with the therapist? Will that have to do with Lydia and Allison? Who knows? But it has something to do with, you know, a lot of symbolism in this season. But, I felt like there was too much more symbolism than there were answers or, you know, stuff to get us excited, or at least one thing to really progress the plot, and I don't think it did. And that's why I thought it was kind of lackluster and less edge of your seat moment. It was entertaining, yeah. But there were a couple of bad things in this episode that didn't make me so excited. It was a filler episode, but you can't have a filler episode for the first episode of the season. That was a little disappointing. But I feel like Teen Wolf does do that a little, just to get you into the whole world of things. Gives you a little filler episode and then gets excited by like episode 2 or 3. But we'll see. I'm obviously going to watch the whole season. I really do enjoy Teen Wolf. And it was just a filler episode, but it was disappointing that it was a season premiere filler episode. So I am going to give this 3 stars. Still an entertaining episode, definitely worth watching for, you know, just the character interaction and maybe some clues for things to come, but I think it could have been a lot more entertaining for a season premiere. But I still trust Jeff Davis to give us an interesting season, and they have a lot of plot things that they could do to make this interesting. I'm excited for episode 2. I'm very excited, and guys, I will be reviewing Teen Wolf all summer, so definitely enjoy that. If you haven't seen my videos before, subscribe if you're a Teen Wolf fan, and yeah, I'll be doing Teen Wolf reviews all summer. So I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno, and guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and my rant situations, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.